Hello there. As you know, I talk about things that I find in the news, normally in the Metro because it's a free newspaper that's nationwide in the UK. And yesterday I noticed a story about Gary Lineker, and he was really angry at Tommy Robinson for, taking a photo of him while he was out. And it made me question privacy and celebrities and whether or not, because you're a celebrity, does it mean that you're owned by the public? And so I just wanted to share my views. As usual, I'm going to read from my notes, so forgive the eye contact. This is just efficiency for me, okay? So fame doesn't mean access. Gary Lineker. When did fame, when did fame, sorry, bad start. When did fame turn into some kind of open door policy? Somewhere along the line, society got confused. We started thinking that being famous meant being public property. That if you're on TV, on a pitch, on a stage, or on a screen, you've signed a contract that says, go ahead, take everything. And let's be honest, that belief didn't come from us, it came from the media machine. This is the same machine that used to proudly call itself the paparazzi. But notice, you don't hear that word anymore. Not because the behaviour stopped, but because the name became embarrassing. So now it's been softened. Photographers, contact teams, agencies, media partners. The job title has changed, but the tactics didn't. The long lenses are still there. The uninvited chase still happens. They've just swapped the trench coat for an Instagram account. And celebrities today are dealing with a different kind of intrusion. Quicker, slicker, digital, global, and often anonymous. One photo can leave the camera and hit 6 countries in under 10 minutes. But let's zoom out. Why do the media believe they can do this? Why this sense of entitlement? 3 reasons. 1, because they've been sold a lie for decades. Fame comes with the territory. No, it doesn't. There's no job description where being stalked is part of the salary. Because they blur the line between public curiosity and public interest. Curiosity is entertainment. Public interest is accountability. They know the difference. They just pretend not to. And the third one is because intrusion makes money. Privacy doesn't. It's simple economics. So here's the real kicker. When the intrusion becomes too much, when someone's kids get photographed, when the house is targeted, where private moments are turned into clickbait, the only time the public ever hears about it is when a celebrity sues. Why? Because only a celebrity can afford to. Only a celebrity has the platform, the resources, the lawyers, the stamina to go up against £1 billion media conglomerate that will drag a case out until most people give up. Oh yes, it takes a big name to expose a wrongdoing, not because all celebrities want attention, but because no one else gets listened to. And that brings us to Gary Lineker. A lot of people had opinions about his reaction when Tommy Robinson dragged his personal life into a political stunt. But let's be crystal clear. This wasn't a story about fame. This wasn't a story about football. This wasn't a story about boundaries. Lineker wasn't angry as a presenter. He was angry as a father, as a man whose home, his private space, was suddenly being used as a battleground. People said, oh, he's a public figure, he should expect it. No one should expect their front door to become a prop. No one should expect their family to be dragged into someone else's agenda. Being well known doesn't cancel out the right to be left alone. But in this situation, it revealed something bigger. The moment a celebrity pushes back, the moment they defend their privacy, the media and some corners of the public act shocked. Why are you complaining? You're famous, as if being famous means forfeiting the basic human right to feel safe. And that's the twisted logic. We need to call out because fame is visibility, not vulnerability. Fame is recognition, not permission. And somewhere along the line we forgot that people we watch, admire, criticize, celebrate, or debate are still human beings. They still want to walk down the street without being ambushed. They still want a meal without a camera in the plant pot. They still want to drop their kids to school without someone hiding in a car across the road. They want what you want. They want peace, privacy, normality. And, in the domestic abuse world, it's called stalking and harassment. I don't know why it doesn't apply to celebrities. But anyway, here we are. The public get misled. Social media creates this false intimacy. You see someone's posts, their interviews, their highlights, and you start feeling like you know them, like you're entitled to more, like you're part of their daily life. But you're not. You know the performance, not the person. And the entertainment industry isn't innocent here either. It markets people like brands. It sells access like product. And only you market a person like a product. And only once you market a person like a product, the public starts treating them like one. That's where the problem begins. Because once someone becomes a product, people forget they can break. They forget how pressure works, how exposure feels, how overwhelming it is to be watched constantly, how heavy it is when your worst moment becomes a global talking point. Nobody is built for that. So let's cut the excuses. Fame comes with a price. No, exploitation comes with a price. They should just ignore it. No, nobody can ignore a swarm of cameras outside their front door. They knew what they were signed up for? No, nobody signs up to be hunted for content. So let's rethink the whole idea. Celebrities don't owe the public access. They owe the public their work, their art, their sport, their skill, their craft. Nothing more. Their private life is not a part of the ticket price. Fame doesn't cancel humanity. It doesn't shrink the need for boundaries. It doesn't erase the right to safety. It doesn't remove the right to say no. And maybe that's the message we need to hear in this noisy, digital, hyper-connected world. You can admire someone, enjoy their talent, celebrate their achievements without demanding access to their personal life. Because the moment we expect access, the moment we feel entitled, the moment we treat visibility as permission, we lose sight of something very simple. Celebrity or not, every human being deserves a door they can close without the world trying to look through the keyhole. And that's what this is about. It's not, I hope I've answered a lot of the questions that we expect. It's like we do expect to know everything about a celebrity. It's almost like the celebrity is accountable to us, and as though we have some kind of intrinsic right to know what they're doing 24 hours a day. As though because somehow they're famous, we should know what they're doing with their money. I don't even know whether it's what they're doing with their money. I think when you think of somebody famous, before, people who were famous, they were almost untouchable. Unless you paid to see them, you couldn't get into their lives. But with the internet, with TikTok, with all this social media and digital access, celebrities have become almost like ordinary people. And because they become like ordinary people, people feel as though they're their friends. It's funny, I was stopped on the train the other day and somebody said, "Oh, you're Black Bright News." And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, I watch your channels." I said, "Oh, thank you." But it's amazing because back in the day, I'm not famous, but I would imagine that somebody who saw David Beckham, they would just talk to them the same way, as though they're buddies, as though they've known each other for years, when they don't know them. They've just been so involved in their lives that they feel they know them. And it reminds me of that movie Truman Show, where your whole life is on display. Only he didn't know his life was on display. Anyway, that's all I've got time for now. Let's speak to you again.